Hi everyone, my name is Oroma MP Reynolds. I am a special education attorney and advocate, and I am the founder and owner of a special needs law firm called MSR Legal and Consulting Services. We're based in New York State with offices on Long Island and in Queens. However, we service families from all over New York State and also offer consultations from all across the country. So tonight's episode of MSR Legal Oroma is going to focus on some recent New York State guidance with respect to two very important topics, especially in this COVID or post-COVID era. So the first topic is compensatory education, and the second one is extended school year services. So the guidance that I reference in my blog that I published tonight, that can be found on my website, www.msrlegal.org. You toggle over to this link here, special needs parenting and the coronavirus, and you'll find the latest blog post on the upper left-hand side, special education in the summertime. So the link to the guidance that I referenced in this blog post can be found here within the blog post, and it's written from the State Department of Education to school districts, but of course as special needs parents and special needs advocates, it's really important to stay on top of how New York State is actually interpreting special education law, which is based on the federal statute. So I reviewed this guidance, which looks like it was issued earlier this month or perhaps this week, on those two very important topics. So briefly to describe how they're similar or different, I'll say that compensatory education is the remedy or a remedy for the denial of a free, appropriate public education to a student with a disability. So we usually use the acronym FAPE, F-A-P-E, free and appropriate public education. And when that has been denied, for whatever reason, the child is entitled to compensatory services, which is has the purpose of reinstating that child to the position they would have been had a FAPE not been denied in the first place. So you can think of it as an important remedy when that child's rights have been violated. And during the pandemic, of course, families really faced remote learning and whether their child was really benefiting from it, or hybrid learning. And if your child's needs were so complex that your child absolutely needed full in-person instruction, then your child might be a student who falls within this category of being entitled to compensatory education. The other topic that the state guidance touches upon is extended school year services, also known as ESY, colloquially called the 12-month IEP. And that is specifically for students who require a structured learning environment for up to 12 months to prevent substantial regression during the summer months. So typically a school year runs from September through June, a 10-month school year program, and the extended school year program covers for a six-week time frame, at least in New York, 6 weeks over 5 days a week, approximately 30 days between early July and mid-August. So that's the extended school year, even though by law the school year actually starts in July versus September, but for the purposes of what we think of a school year, starting in September, does extend that school year further. And so the question that families may be asking is, what is my child entitled to? Is it one or the other, compensatory education versus extended school year, or is it both? Perhaps you're the parent of a child who has been denied a FAPE as a result of the pandemic, and your child also requires extended school year services to prevent that substantial regression over the summer, so that it won't take an extreme or inordinate amount of time once the school year begins to get your child back to where he or she was at the end of the school year, which is now. So it's really important to understand the distinction between these two concepts in special education law, but also understand that your child might qualify for both or may qualify for one rather than the other. So if you do have questions about this for your child, feel free to book a virtual consultation on my website, www.msrlegal.org, which you see here on your screen. Toggle over to this purple button on the upper right-hand side, and from there you can send a message, and we'll get back to you regarding setting up a time to review your questions. So thanks for joining tonight's episode of MSR Legal Oroma, our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you again, hopefully earlier than we are right now, but ideally between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is where I will be highlighting any important development in the area of special needs policy or education policy in general, with an eye towards how the development or new policy will impact parents of students with special needs. So until next time, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great weekend.